So we look really at investment and fostering investment in a Black Sea blue economy. The third pillar, the third goal, it's also really where we look at SMEs, supporting service and clustering. And the CMA, since the beginning, has been looking really at this area. Last year, we had a pitching session in cooperation with Blue Invest, which is a EU initiative for investment in the blue economy, sustainable investment. And also in cooperation with the Black Sea Accelerator. This year we invite 3 SME startups. So I call Sorina Uleya, who's already here, Resik Lux. A big applause if you don't mind. Roger Preston, Tresoil, and Kubilai Ildrim, BioNTech. Maybe a cumulative applause to both. So yeah, really the CMA support innovation and SMEs, which are vital. The ecosystem, the sustainable ecosystem is essential to do whatever we said in the first 2 sessions. So we really look at this made in Black Sea companies and startup. So I guess, the format. We have 2 rounds of short questions. We all aware that we separate the audience from launching and networking, so we want to be efficient, and ourselves too, so we want to be effective and efficient here. Then we have a last quick set of questions. We look at the Slido, so again, you know how it works. Please go under the session for this session 3, and don't hesitate to already put your question while we discuss. So without much ado, as they say, we go in the first round of questions. We really want to look at your solution and what do you do and how. So I think we start from there. Roger, all of you are part of the CMA family, so we can skip formalities. And I mean, you are a kind of Black Sea stakeholder by adoption for a long time now, and your company looks really at this nexus between pollution, energy, so it's really essential in the context of clean, sustainable energy and decarbonization of the blue economy. But the question is, in 5 minutes, I will take time. How your company, what's the solution you offer? Give a little bit more of technical detail without being too technical for this. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually an Australian, but I've lived in Romania for the last 16 years. My company, Tresoil Biofuels, I've got a project called Tresoil Power 2X. And what we do is we take unrecyclable plastic and end-of-life tires, and we turn it, this toxic waste into hydrogen and also ammonia, which are zero-emission fuels. What the power project, it's small scale. You're talking about 2 tennis court size for the project, and all the technologies come. They're factory built, they're containerized, they're modular, they are scalable, and they're replicable. And the first one we can produce from this unrecyclable plastic and in tires. We can produce electricity that will run the whole complex. You don't need to hook up to the grid, and we get rid of this plastic forever. It doesn't go to landfill, which keeps emissions going for hundreds of years, and it doesn't go for incineration. The 4 technologies that we're using on location in a pilot project on the Danube, which is the border between Romania and Bulgaria, as you know, will sort of, the 4 technologies we're using is the waste to energy, which turns immediately plastic 24/7 hours per day, 365 days. Not unlike solar and wind, which could only produce 3.5 hours of green energy. We produce 24/7. The next technology will be to sort of use Danube water to split with an electrolyzer from the electricity produced by the waste to energy And we can also produce what they call solid carbon, which from the captured CO2, we can sort of produce solid carbon, which is used in many, many different products, including tires. Yeah, each standard tire takes about 3 kilos of solid carbon to each tire. And Romania has 7 factories building tires for all sorts of people like Michelin, Continental, Pirelli, and also Nokian Tires building a new tire factory in Oradea, and they will produce 6 million tires. So there's a lot of use for this solid carbon. The fourth technologies we can turn the hydrogen into ammonia, so it'll produce green ammonia or e-methanol. They're all small size, containerized, scalable, and replicable. Once we're going to build it in 2 stages. We're going to build a construction digital twin, which is different to the other digital twins you've been hearing about. It's all about virtually creating, designing, and getting the plans for a physical, real Earth pilot plant on the Danube.
Thank you very much. That was very to the point. And maybe an add-on. You touched on different nexuses indeed. You are based and a company is based in Romania, but you also have part of your company in Bulgaria, right? And you really look at the interplay between river and sea basin, and also a wide range of other economic sectors.
We're very interested in making the Danube into a sort of emission-free zone, hydrogen corridor from the Black Sea to the North Atlantic.
Yeah, that seems very encouraging also in the context of the EU mission Danube Delta in this area. So maybe we jump to the other side of before going to Kubilai, because Serena, you are dealing with plastic litter, trying to get rid of all this plastic from river, but also mainly from the sea, by using technologies, AI, etc. So could you elaborate briefly on what you do and how?
Well,
I think they might activate it from down there.
Can I?
Or use the other one. Just don't push it.
Is this one? Perfect.
Right.
So first of all, thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.
So at Recyclux, we are on a mission to save the seas by fighting the plastic pollution with deep tech. So what we are doing, we are combining Earth observation with artificial intelligence and blockchain in order to make the plastic waste cleanup both faster and smarter. We really thrive on collaboration. So we team up with companies, with fishermen, with recyclers to build a solution that is both technological advanced and impactful. So let's imagine the AI is scanning through the satellite images in order to identify the waste spots in the sea. And then our blockchain is connecting all these relevant stakeholders from collection to recycling, like an Uber for marine cleanup. And we have reached TRL 5 with the support of EIT Climate Kit. And our project results were recognized by the European Commission. Right now, we are ready to take our prototype to the Black Sea to do a real live intervention. We have the plan, we have the partnerships, and we just need to get the funds to see this through. And then after we collect the plastic from the sea, because most of the plastic there is not recyclable, then we can work with Roger. Thank you.
Thanks to you. So we already have collaboration in the making. So I mean, a lot of fancy state of play technology, but you really want to like monitor, assess, make a mapping of the plastic, and then engage stakeholder through that, right? So it's a collective endeavor. Okay, we will look at the kind of marketability of all of this in the next session. But now we move to Kubilai. Kubilai from the other side of the Black Sea, or the middle of Black Sea?
From the Turkish side.
From the Turkish side. A spin-off of interesting spin-off of university. Also interesting way to reuse the money, but we might elaborate. So please, Kubilai, explain how you deal with biotechnologies using really algae. We discussed about algae before, but this is like extracting ingredients from algae to do other things. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Matthew, also for your invitation to the conference. So I would like to just mention about the establishment of our company. And I am an academician in a university in Samsun, which is found in the Black Sea region of Turkey. And the Samsun is famous for its rivers, because the longest and the largest two rivers just flow into the Samsun in west and east sides. And they are flowing through the agricultural sites and bring lots of organic and inorganic pollution to the Black Sea sides of the Samsun. And in recent years, we realized that there are some overgrowth of macroalgae in west and east side of the Samsun, and we collected them to research is there any possibility to produce commercial chemicals from them. And we identified two different types of red algae and two different brown algae, Cystisoria, Gracilaria and Gelidium. And we successfully produced agar and alginate from these two different types of macroalgae. These two chemicals are highly important for biotechnology, for food industry, for medicine. These are the raw materials. In fact, we are importing especially from China or other Eastern countries. And these are, and as I said, is important chemicals for biotechnology, because these are the gelling agents, in fact. And if you can convert it to some products that are used in biotechnology. I bring some examples of them. So, for instance, you can create these kinds of chemicals that are used for identification of microorganisms. So, it is important in medicine or in medical purposes. Or you can convert them into such kinds of gelling substances. So, these are a porous structure, and you can use them to separate DNA, RNA, proteins, and it is important for biotechnology usage. And we converted also them to non-agricultural usage. As you can see, there are some seeds on it, and if you can put some growth hormones or other nutrients into that agar solution, you can produce any kinds of plant in it. So that means that we are producing the agar and alginate, which are produced by the pollutions that is coming from the agricultural sites, and we are turning to the agriculture by agar and alginate. Another important chemical is alginate. It is an encapsulating agent, in fact. And if you drop it into a calcium chloride, you can encapsulate any kinds of solution. So we produced also liquid agricultural fertilizers, and we tested their performance, and we proved that these kinds of organic fertilizers that can be used in the fields, and they did not produce any pollution, because the plants absorb all nutrients and they are decomposed in the fields. But therefore, again, as I said, we are converting agricultural pollution to agriculture by these products.
Yeah, so thanks a lot again. And also, I mean, again, looking at circularity, but beyond that, really addressing key problems of litter, plastic, and algae into solution and opportunities for a range of sector. No, you mentioned agriculture.
Yeah. So we are also looking forward to some satellite images to find the macroalgae, the blooms or the accumulations. Okay. Maybe we can also talk with Sierra to record these accumulation macroalgae.
So we already have a potential for a Black Sea company overall. So that's good. And. Yeah. Okay. But this is and you're all supported by the Black Sea Accelerator, so good job so far.
Thank you.
And I think really, I mean, it gives a hint of the potential of startup and SMEs and practitioner that put their passion into work. Maybe briefly, before going to the next set of questions, you then use the revenue from your companies to feed in research. No?
So we are selling these chemicals as a raw material now, and we are earning money, and we are using these money to search what other chemicals can be produced from these macroalgae. We are testing to produce the bioethanol and producing the cellulose because these are the cellulose source, in fact. And we established to produce bioethanol from this source because after removing agar and alginate from this macroalgae biomass, there is remaining biomass after that process. And this is a high quality of the cellulose source. And you can use this cellulose source to produce bioethanol. So this is another important chemicals that you can produce from the macroalgae species. So this is also important for research activities.
So very interesting business models here to be noted. I will say, and thanks for being very much on time, all of you. So next round of question is really looking at the, let's say, bankability, but also the marketability of where you stand. You have different level of proximity to the market, and maybe we go back one by one. So Roger, how far you are from from commercialization. What is the plus you offer to potential users, etc.?
Well, we're trying to get the finance for the digital twin to be for the virtual construction. It actually saves 40% of the cost of the real build physical plant. And then we're hoping to sort of work with people like the European Union, the EIT, the EIC, to be able to get the finance and also to sort of get private finance to build it. The virtual twin actually gives the stakeholders and the investors comfort because they can interact with the virtual digital twin before we even start constructing the real plant, which would be of around 30 million euros. So, and what we're hoping to achieve is to sort of, from this toxic waste of unrecyclable plastic, which is 95% of all the plastic, and end-of-life tires, we can actually turn this toxic waste into revenue and hopefully make a very good profit. Once we build the first plant, we can replicate these on both sides of the Danube in sort of, in especially good because we don't have to hook up to the grid, which is about 65% of the operational cost of electrolysis if is the price of electricity from the grid. So because the material we're using has no market value and we're getting it for free. And there's plenty of plastic and plenty of used tires around at the moment.
So you are at you have all your technology together, but you're at time of prototype and showcasing really to get more investment coming in. Okay, thank you very much. So maybe Serena, on your side, so where do you stand in terms of reaching the market or even developing your prototype, etc., please?
So, as I mentioned, right now we are at TRL5. So the next step is to be able to demonstrate the feasibility of one intervention. So this practically was the main milestone that investors have raised. So we need practically to secure some funds in order to demonstrate this feasibility. So the costs and all the aspects of one interventions in order to open the possibility of taking in private investment. So every stakeholders that we discussed, they recognize the potential of the solution. So not only from the technological breakthrough side, but also from the impact it has. So taking up the plastic from the sea, it's not only about getting the sea clean. It's about preserving the ecosystem and reducing the CO2 emissions. we are practically preventing, so by taking out the plastic, we are preventing the release of the stored carbon from the sea, but also enable the sea do its job and absorb the carbon. And it's not only the environmental impact, it's about saving jobs in fishing and in tourism and preserving our food health. So
yes, so clearly the impacts are broad. And
yes, but it's not only the impact, it's about, it's a chicken and egg problem, so we need the funds to prove the intervention, and we cannot get funds from the investors because we haven't proven the feasibility.
Yeah. So you're a little stuck here to prove your bankability, and you need more support for that.
Thank
okay,
you.
well noted, thanks to you. So Kubilai, I think you're in a different situation. You have commercial already results, but you want to scale up most likely.
So we have just started as a startup, but we produce, as I said, 2 different types of chemicals, and we are now selling them as an raw material, and we are also converting them to the agricultural fertilizer, and we also start to sell them as an agricultural fertilizer. Some farmers has an intense, they are dealing with us to sell them. And we are also developing some other projects, as I said before. So we are also developing some other projects with Salih and Mustafa about the offshore platforms and their production capabilities of the macroalgae in Black Sea region or other seas. And also we are now creating new job opportunities in the local peoples in Black Sea region in Turkish side. And I have 2 persons working with me and 5 students, and also I am giving their scholarships. And we are start to produce some chemicals and selling them, and also supporting the peoples to create new jobs. So these are the other sides of the market, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So really 3 different areas of intervention, 3 different technologies, different area of the Black Sea, and different status of advancement, and also maybe a bit of technical details, but really it's about concrete stuff, if I may. Clean energy, clean sea, innovative products for a number of value chain. So maybe before going to the questions from you, so please keep asking. And before going to lunch, I see also Michaela pointing the clock. We have the last tour of questions as the other panel. So yeah, given all of that, what we said, Roger, what the CMA can help both CMA as the policy framework and the CMA as a community, how we can help you?
Yeah, well, CMA can sort of help raise our profile and what we're doing, and to sort of work to help us get the grants that we require, not only for the digital twin, but then also to find the customers throughout Europe for this particular project. We want to prove that it's commercially viable, it makes money, and it turns toxic waste into revenue.
Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Thank you. I am very happy to be here because I met many people like Florin, and we are talking about the new projects and to give new ideas, especially related with the Black Sea regions. There are many companies here, and I see that there is a huge capability, and there are lots of works we can do together, and I am looking forward to bilateral projects, for instance, to give new ideas. And
so I take it as networking and business discussion. Okay, great. Sorina, last but not least.
So in my view, the CMA, of course, like my predecessors said, can enable cross-border collaboration to build projects and release probably funding for innovative solutions. But it's not only this. They can the CMA can help us also with making ourselves heard to the policymakers. So it's feedback to policy. And I can speak about a particular situation here. For example, we can count on companies paying for the plastic collection intervention because most of the polluters are corporations. However, they can implement extended producer responsibility actions by only, paying for collections in city. And it costs a lot more to take out the plastic from the sea. And eventually, these extended producer responsibilities were made to clean up the seas. And everybody's taking the easy way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, keep it because there's still a last round of questions. So, really raising profile, networking, cooperation, and policy feedback. You touched upon funding. Maybe if I may, we were joking earlier that the CMA Common Maritime Agenda is now quite established and supportive. And we notice also an interaction with the Black Sea Accelerator, and we will all discuss in ITEC Summit later on in Sofia. But really, this step from pre-prototype to commercialization requires supports and maybe grants or sustainable investment, and I don't know, maybe a CMI, Common Maritime Investment, could be something to be reflected at the policy level, because it's really a gap that is blocking. If I hear you and you're a sample of a broader community, is blocking the ability to attract investment. So just putting here for further digestion after the lunch. So maybe we go to the Slido. I will see if my site is still running or if I need glasses, definitely. So please ask your question. I imagine it will come out at some point on the screen. We've been too quick, sorry, too fast. Okay. Maybe I leave you to pick one question that you prefer, because they're also very specific. Roger.
Regarding can we implement transformation of plastic waste into energy in Moldova too? This is why I'm here. Yes.
Just talk to him.
Many times. You could have 3 plants, say, in Chisinau alone, or in your major cities, or in remote situations. You don't have to hook up to the grid. It produces its own electricity and its own hydrogen, ammonia, and solid carbon, which we can then turn into graphite and what they call the miracle material, which is graphene. Look it up in Google. Thank you.
So please, Moldovan colleague, go to speak to Roger later on. Please.
Can I also get
Of course.
one? So what are the financial instruments to support such projects? So for us to get here, we got a small grant through a CLIM accelerator and supported by IIT Climate Kick. But to move forward, what I'm thinking that we can do is maybe apply for an Inno-wide feasibility under the Eureka network. But of course, the main goal is to be able to access an EIC accelerator. But in our case, we are too early for this.
Thank you very much. And Kubilay, your time.
The last question, what is the most successful macroalgae products in your view? So, as I said, we are collecting the brown algae, especially the Cystisoria types or Cystisoria species are very important because they are large biomass and they are naturally found in the Black Sea region. Therefore, as far as I know, or in my expertise, the Cystisoria types of macroalgae is very important to produce alginate. Alginate is a very interesting chemical. Then I can say that the Cystisoria is the best macroalgae in Black Sea region. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I think very clear, very interesting, very much to the point. We're even early. Either we pick another question or we close them all and we have more networking. Thank you very much. The business talk is always interesting. Thank you very much. So I have few, right? I was forgetting. I have very good notes from our colleagues here. So some householding information. After the lunch, we have these 3 sessions. So I start from the last one. Black Sea ecosystem conservation, plastic pollution management, and circularity opportunities, right? We have 1 participant already. We'll stay here. Okay, seems to be a large group, stay here. Upstairs, the other two groups. I don't know exactly where, but I think you will find as white collars that will become or the writing. So decarbonization and energy transition in the Black Sea, maritime and riverine transport and ports. Blue lounge. Maybe Roger, you can go there, or you can join the plastic, or you can jump in between. Blue economy skills and ocean literacy for existing and emerging Black Sea jobs for everybody, I guess. Begonia upstairs. And I guess also Kubilai, you might wanna tomorrow join the technical group for aquaculture. I take the liberty to have a special invitation. Thank you very much. Bon appétit, we say in Brussels, and talk later. Thank you very much.